fit
Guys,
right
a
in.
big, big, big congrats on the wedding banquet. Funny, sweet, and very, very true. You guys made me cry with tears of joy. I love it.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh, let's begin with you, Miss Kelly. Take us from the very beginning. What attracted you to playing Angela in the film?
I was honestly really excited to tell a queer story told by queer people and spend time on set with a bunch of queer people celebrating that part of our identity. And also in Angela, I saw so much of myself, this woman who had a complicated relationship with her own mother and with her own queerness, like how she had to justify that to her mom, and then how she continued to be unable to have an open conversation about it, even though her mom suddenly became this like public activist for her community. I related to many facets of her, and I was just excited to be part of it. Yeah.
I wrote on my notes while I was watching the film, I'm like, oh my God, your relationship with your mom is like my relationship with my mommy.
Ah.
It's almost like a terms of endearment kind of thing, right?
Mm.
They
Great
love each other, but
reference.
they also cannot sort of stand stand each other either.
Hmm.
You know?
Absolutely. I think that's such an authentic representation of a lot of people's relationships with their parents, especially if they're queer, unfortunately.
And
Um,
Asian, I believe. I have to add that.
Yes, yeah, it's also so Asian. And I think that one thing that I've said before that I think is true is that the idea that Angela and May could have this confrontation scene where Lee's sitting there and then later they just don't address it is so Asian to me. Like you're like, we had this fight, but we're just gonna like walk around it and just like continue interacting with each other without addressing it is so Asian to me.
But you know what? The way I picked up on it, Lily's character. By the way, Miss Lily, fantastic.
Yes, agree, agree.
Um, you that one line when you said, "Oh, don't treat me like your mother."
Oh,
Oh
The
yeah,
one
yeah,
that
yeah.
you don't talk to each other. You don't. It's true though.
Hmm.
Now, Miss
Absolutely.
Lily, talk to us about the dynamics between your character of Lee and your girlfriend, played by Miss Kelly here.
I mean, that was a big part of it, was trying to avoid the whole mothering thing. I think that's something a lot of couples do work on, particularly the way that I built Lee, coming from a very accepting family of who she is, creating that space for everybody else in the film to live and thrive, creating a family dynamic where you really want as an audience to see a baby in the mix. Um, I think imagining that these two have been together for 10 years. They had a cat child that they lost. They she was there, Lee was there for Angela and all the ups and downs with her relationship with Mei Chen. Angela was there for Lee when her father passed away. We decided during COVID. It was We had a lot to build on, and I think part of that, and what was so effortless to step into with Kelly, that much lived in space. I mean, this couple has had a fight, has had like a theme to the tumult, and I think that was a big one. Is just finding Lee encouraging Angela to really stand on her own, and in a way, being loving and nurturing, but stepping away from the mothering aspect. I think that was a really important one.
I totally, totally agree. Now, Miss Kelly, I think at its heart, the film, The Wedding Banquet, is about family, both biological and chosen, right? Talk to us about that.
yeah, I think that I love the message of the film. I love that we are telling a story about a chosen family, a family that maybe if you grew up in a traditional setting or if you were told the definition of family in a conventional sense, it doesn't look like that. And we are letting people into the world and we're showing people that your family, even if they are your chosen family and not your biological family, as you said, they're still loving and accepting, and you get to have this beautiful community around you. And I think my hope is that people watching the film will recognize that family doesn't have to look like what we were told it was supposed to look like, that whatever is right for you is right for you, and let us celebrate that together. Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts of being in this film is that message.
And you, Miss Lily, along the lines of what Kelly said, The Wedding Banquet arrives in theaters on the 18th. What do you hope for viewers to get after watching the film?
I think also like amplifying what Kelly just said, watch the original and watch for the two wedding banquets in both. You very much get one that's kind of the centerpiece of the film in Ang Lee's version. I mean, it deserved the title of the film. With our generation and the remake of it, the wedding banquet that we don't get in this film because of just the nature of the farce of it all ends up being this incredibly quiet, intimate scene between two matriarchs and these titans of film in both Yajun and in Joan. Like these two actresses that are so foundational to so many people getting to be on screen in a very authentic way together when, you know, casting can be so, it's like, oh, she's Korean, she's Chinese. They would never be in the same film together, but in this moment they are. And they both are kind of conspiring in being women who chose their children over tradition, who chose to love their children over what society accepted. And I think while the film, I hope that queer audiences, I hope that families from immigrants, first generation, second generation, indigenous families, families who are under attack right now in the United States by our administration find a safe place. And I also hope that our allies find a way to be a little bit braver and to step up and choose love over what's expected.
Oh, you guys are amazing. Sorry, I'm out of time. A big, big, big congrats to The Wedding Banquet again. Everyone should say I do in watching the film.